Oh man, it went live quick. This Life in Tech, episode 110. I'm Jason.
Live from DC, the Michigan gangster.
Michigan in DC. I guess that could work since DC is not a state, right?
Correct. Definitely not a state. A lot of people are in a state of confusion here. But
yeah, right. I mean,
it's weird. I mean, this area, I mean, I already knew that I wanted to get out, but I got to come back to the DC area for my kids. But I just, when I get here, I feel the negativity just being siphoned from me.
Yeah. Yeah.
The way people, drive, to how they act. It's, I had this thought, I think it was the last time I was here. I was wondering, like, why is this area one of the most highly taxed states in the country? And I'm like, they're basically just subsidizing their work, because almost everyone in the area works for, in some capacity, the government. They're either a contractor to the government or they're a government employee. So they're just subsidizing their own work. I'm like, wow, this, that could be completely wrong, but that's what it feels like. So.
Yeah, I liked where we lived in Silver Spring, but I kind of had there were days where I had the same feeling, especially when I was on like the DC metro side of Laurel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I always like driving through the agricultural center to campus personally. I mean, that was really calming in the morning and at night. But big cities, man, I don't have a need for it anymore. I mean,
I get it, but and then here in DC, there's all this stuff, but it's all government related. When you take a look at the types of companies that are headquartered in this area, they're all basically focused on government work. I mean, there's some that aren't, but
right. I
just go, wow, this makes a lot more sense why the taxes have to be higher. They got to pay. They got to, again, I might be jumping and reaching a little bit, but it's just what it feels like.
Well, I might agree that maybe people didn't set out for that explicit purpose, I should say, to create it such that that's true. But it certainly could have evolved to be true on its own. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Because people are like, well, no, for a mortgage company. I'm like, yeah, but who's buying the house? Someone that works for the government, ipso facto, what is it? How 7 degrees of separation with Kevin Bacon or something like that, whatever it was. It's the same thing.
Kevin Bacon or Kevin Mitnick?
Yeah. I don't really like either of those cats.
I'm fascinated by, because this seems to come up like almost like a trend, like a cyclical trend, that every so often a vendor will align themselves with some popular icon in the hacker subculture.
Yeah.
Kevin being one of the most prominent ones, because I think that's really the only way he has to make money. It kind of like Trump, insofar as it's not really a businessman. He's not really doing anything. It's just he's marketing his name. More power to you. I'm not decrying your ability to do that and make some nickels. You know what I mean? But let's call it what it is, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're President Trump.
Well, President Trump. I mean, I don't know that I need to qualify mine or yours or not yours. It's just he's the president. Fair enough.
I love it with all these people that are out there with that. They're like, not my president. I'm like, pretty sure the history books are going to say that the president at this particular time period was President Donald Trump. I don't think there's anything you can do to fix that. So,
well, I mean, you can renounce your citizenship and move to another country, and then he's not your president. But barring that, if you're a citizen of the United States, he's the president of the United States.
Yeah.
Which is a separate argument from whether you support that presidency or not.
Yeah. I just love all the not my president. But yeah, when getting back to like Kevin Mitnick, and it's kind of funny because, I mean, really all this cat did was call up and get people to give him his password, right? So the company he's affiliated with this time, it's called KnowBe4, which is basically a social engineering platform that you could test your employees out.
Right. Hey, and more power to you. Like I said, if that's how you're going to make your nickels or your hobby, fair enough. What I find interesting is that we started talking about this, I think maybe the last time we were talking to Ken. What I find interesting, and I've been thinking about, is this.
Right, Ken or Ken 2.1? I'm not sure which one.
Dr. Ken. I don't know what he wants to call himself this week. We'll find out on Tuesday, everybody. The Thursday episodes are now on Tuesday. So we stuck with the T. We just moved a couple letters. Anyway, the cyclical trend of like, oh, we're going to take this named person from the subculture and try to use that as a marketing platform for our product. And that makes me feel like, well, do you even really have a product? Because what you're not talking about, which I find interesting, is this convergence of cybersecurity just into, let's say, operations. Like, why does it need to be its own thing?
I don't think it should. I mean, that's kind of my whole point. You have to have someone responsible, but I mean, in any of those things, people have to feel valued. I mean, now all of a sudden, the next trend is, oh, we have a chief digital officer. Okay, what everything is, digital. Everything is information. What's the difference between the two? I don't think there is one.
Right, at that point, you might as well have a chief officer of Internet of Things.
But I mean, I think they will.
Yeah, inevitably. I mean, I don't understand why. Like, what is it? What purpose does that serve? Like you were just saying. I mean, what isn't digital at this point? I mean, your chair's not. Fair enough. But we don't have a chief officer of chairs.
Yet. It could become digital. I mean, they have suitcases now that are smart suitcases.
Yeah, fair enough. But you got to take the battery out when you take it on the plane.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, if you check it, right? If you carry it on, you don't have to.
Right. But that's the funny part, is that what the hell is so smart about the suitcase?
Dude, unless it's getting on the plane and going to my meeting for me and coming back, having done the work on my behalf, it's not smart.
And then it has to be going, retainer.
Yeah. You got to pay the 5 times, son.
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a good scene from Good Will Hunting, man, when he says he's chief negotiator.
Yeah.
My God. See, you like Ben Affleck. What are you talking about?
Well, no, I just said he plays the same character in every movie.
Oh, my God, man. Are you happy? Are you happy he's not going to be Batman anymore?
He never was to me.
Oh, God. Legitimately the best of all of them, without a doubt.
I think that poisonous African caterpillar is getting to you.
Maybe I need to take it back to the jungle and wrestle it somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Where were we?
I don't know. But the funny part is all these organizations, it's like, all right, they're just coming up with, they just want more people to report to the CEO or the board, right? So you have chief everything officers. It doesn't matter what it is. They're gonna just go into the alphabet and like, I think we need a CJO. We'll have the chief janitorial officer next. I mean, where does it stop? Right? I think this just comes back down to this aspect of everybody has to have a trophy. So everyone has to have a chief and an officer in their name. Dude, for anyone out there, if you have to rely on your title to get your work done, you have no power. Zero.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's always been a red flag to me, man, when there's a proliferation of titles. Like, rather than promoting people based on competency and into roles where they can be successful with those competencies, right? The notion, you've been at places like this or seen it. Let's just promote people and all of a sudden everybody's a director. And then when you ask why, they make some excuse of, oh, the pay scale. Well, your pay scale's broken if you have to make everybody a director. Like, what does that mean? If everybody's a director, who are they directing?
Half of those people can't direct themselves through traffic.
Yeah. I mean, and why? Why? It just makes no sense. If you have to give somebody a title just to pay them a certain amount, then your pay scale's broken. There's no way around it in my mind.
It's like in startups, everyone's a vice president. Or actually worse yet, in banking, which has been around forever, everyone's a vice president.
Right. Well, look, I mean, I'll talk about myself when I worked for you at Sonic Circle. I didn't need that title to do my work. You know what I mean? It just happened to be there. Half the time I didn't even put the initials in the title if I needed to use the title, which most of the time I didn't use anyway. Because what does it matter?
Doesn't, and it's just it's the human psyche. Oh well, I've got this, I've got that. I care about them Benjamins in my bank account.
Yeah. Well, exactly. And the thing is, we were talking about this before we turned the broadcast on, of how there's a strong need in the general population to have things broken down into short, simple sound bites, right? And you can see that trend in the news and the way things are reported. They're oversimplified. Titles work the same way, right? If you have to set a goal for yourself, are you going to go through the rigor? And listen, man, I've been going deep into goal structure, like the science of it. I'm obsessed with this now. I'm obsessed with it, and I'm obsessed with the fact that nobody teaches it. Like, it's really bizarre. Anyway, like, are you going to set like this elaborate goal and structure it so that it's measurable, it's time bound, so forth and so on, right? Which takes a lot of work. Or do you just want to say, I want to be a vice president? And I don't know what that means, but screw it. That's what I want to be.
Or they just want to be the president of a university.
Yeah, right.
With no true capabilities to be able to be the president.
Speaking of which, maybe that's a good segue. Just so everybody knows, here's the big announcement we were talking about a couple weeks ago, or at least part of it. I've turned in my resignation at Capital Technology University. My last day will be April 26th, which is the end of the spring semester.
So that means you will not be there to accept your 6th award.
Yeah, I figured I'd stop at 5. It sounds better. Somebody else can get it.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they're giving it out anymore, to be honest with you.
They probably can't afford it.
I don't know, man.
This is the whole thing with that, because for those that don't know, I resigned all aspects from them, and they are so clueless. And the president of that university is the antithesis. Yeah.
Antithesis.
Trying to think of how to pronounce it. It's a little bit early here for me still. Of a leader. He's a good example of a bad example. This cat blames everyone for the failures that are happening. I asked them on so many different occasions to stop contacting me. Okay, remove me from all of your databases. Do not contact me from an alumni standpoint. Do not contact me for anything. And I kid you not, on 4 different occasions, they still send me some type of communication. And they want to say it was some error in their system. Why else would anyone say congratulations on moving forward with your college education? Here's the link to your to FAFSA to fill out for your financial aid. He blamed it on some low-level IT guy. Never once has he responded to anything. He's a straight-up coward.
Well, look, maybe we're just going to roll with the Goodwill Hunting phrases. I'm just holding out for something better.
Yeah.
It's really that simple. I don't really have any dark motives. I gave them as much notice as I felt professionally able to give. I don't know what they're going to do, man, but I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about what's next for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I get it. I mean, you're a better man than I, because I'd have gone in there and I would have gone there in person because you have to go there all the time anyway.
That's a long drive, brother, and I sure as hell ain't getting on a plane for it.
Well, no, but have them have them book it, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't. Well, it'll be interesting what they do, because April 26th is the end of the spring semester, so I'm obviously going to finish out my contractual obligated duties. No harm, no foul, right? Because I still enjoy teaching. I don't have a problem with that. And that weekend is a residency for the doctoral students. I'm not obligated to go, and I really haven't thought about whether I'm going to go or not.
I wouldn't.
I'm not driving. Screw that. If I drive 6 hours, I'm going to go visit my parents in Ohio.
Dude, they're not going to, if you go, they're not going to reimburse you.
Well, right, because my last day is that Friday.
Yeah.
Anyway, there you go. There's the announcement, everybody. Move on.
Yeah. Well, it's better. It's better for you. They were holding you back.
Look, man, one door closes,
one
door opens. What's that? I can't keep it
going. They were keeping you down.
Hey, listen, man, if you're going to come at the 5 time, you better come with an army and a shipping container full of steroids. Look at this shit, man. Oh my God, dude. I'm going crazy because I've been stuck inside riding my bike. It's been raining nonstop forever, man. I can't get outside and ride.
Could be worse. You could still live in California.
That's true, dude. They got snow, man. They got snow.
But I mean, so did Hawaii, I heard.
Yeah. Vegas got dumped on.
Global warming.
Now, I lived there 20 years. Well, see, this is the classic conflation between global warming and weather. Not the same thing. Your president fucks that up all the time.
There's some cat just like did something in Antarctica, and a bunch of flat earthers asked him if he saw the wall. like it's a Game of Thrones or the wall. You just can't go any further.
Man, look, maybe we got to talk about this. So, this is one of my little really small side hobbies. Like when I really don't want to work on anything and be productive, I'll go down one of these rabbit holes. The flat earthers now have a subculture within themselves that argue that space is fake.
Yeah.
Check this out. This is really interesting, man. The psychology around this to me. That space obviously exists, but the notion of space as we're taught it is fake because the New World Order needs to use an alien invasion as the excuse to establish one world government and take control of everything. Hey, man, that didn't work for Independence Day. I don't know why anybody thinks that's actually real, but
I don't know. But I just love it when people are like, well, the moon landing. I'm like, allegedly. You have to say allegedly.
Do you, though? Do you have to? I mean, I don't know. You have to. You want
but
to.
I just start doing it just because then people are like, they don't know. They don't know if I'm joking or not.
Yeah.
Sure. Especially at work. When they start talking about, this is the anniversary for such and such, and I'm like, is it though? They don't know what to say.
Dude, I'm telling you, some of the best statistics for tweets I have are when I just hashtag flat earth and I don't say anything related to it. Like people come out of the woodwork, man.
I wonder if there's a correlation for people that believe the earth is flat and that we never went to the moon. And how many of them are the same people?
See, I don't know, man. Probably a bit. And you can probably dump the 9/11 truthers in there too. The bad thing, and I've said this all the time, man. The bad thing is this actually dismisses true conspiracies. And because there have been true conspiratorial events, like the scheduling of marijuana, for instance, is a well-known, well-established, factually cited conspiracy between two people, and one of which was Randolph Hearst because of the paper, right? But that's a true conspiracy, and when you start talking about the Earth being flat or space not being real, and associate it with conspiracy as a term, here's another one that I think actually bears investigation: Bigfoot. I don't think Bigfoot's real, but I think the probability of some crypto primate being, at least at some point, roaming around is way more plausible than the Earth being flat, right?
Sure.
Dude, there's a lot of wilderness, man. And if you're serious about it, there's ways you could actually scientifically go figure it out because that's scientifically knowable. Just like the Earth being flat is scientifically knowable. But man,
is it though?
It is, my friend. And they've known it for 3,000 years.
Oh.
It is.
All of your instruments are just have been compromised by the government to make it seem like.
Well, and that's the thing, right? I've heard this numerous times. Heard it, read it, so forth and so on, that NASA fakes the data.
It's true. They do. Oh,
dude, you might as well just start talking about security appliances being immune systems now.
Though that's your favorite topic.
You know what I'm going to do?
Like
I've really thought about this from time to time. From time to time, I get a bug in me that I want to build like a substantial open source project, right? Just something I've always wanted to do. It's on my bucket list. But I mean like a real nice big size project. And I've thought about trying to build like a real immune system, and then I'll just give it away for free. Fuck all these people.
All of a sudden, it basically they don't understand that our immune system is more like a virus than anything. It goes and it kills. It's lethal machine. It will just the whatever company would implement it, it would stop working.
Well, you're right. We talked about this before. Our immune system is capable of such lethality that it kills a lot of people. It's called cancer.
Yeah.
Now, strictly speaking, because somebody will harass me, yes, I understand it's not the immune system, but it's biology overreacting to a common situation, which is cell division. Anyway, man, don't get me started, dude. Yeah, get me started. Why not? It's a Sunday, and I got to go ride my bike for an hour and a half inside out of this. So
it's fun to wind you up a little bit on this stuff. Like I when I go out to RSA in a week, I'm sure there will be some vendor that says their stuff is like a immune system.
Yeah, well, and I'll say it again. You should immediately turn your phone on and stream it, and we'll put it on the show. And listen, and I'm not saying I'm going to harass a salesperson because I'm not into that. That's cruel. I'm not going to beat somebody up that's not in a position to defend themselves.
Oh no, I'm going to go look for the technical person.
Yeah. But they ought to explain what they mean by immune system,
like how so?
Yeah, right. I don't know, man.
What happens if so your product's going to eventually go after your core processor because it thinks it might all of a sudden be bad and then wipe out all your data?
Yeah, right. I mean,
you've just to start messing with them.
Now, see, this is the thing that drives me crazy. Now you got me wound up. Now, thank you. I got to get excited about something on a Sunday, dude. You know what I mean? There actually is a lot of science that has looked into what's called artificial life, which is modeling life in software or hardware. Okay. And inside of that science, people have looked into replicating immune systems. And typically that gets expressed in intrusion detection in some form. And nobody has done it. And they've been working on this for 30 or 40 years. Nobody's done it. Nothing in the science says this is an immune system in software, in hardware. It doesn't exist. But see, that's what I want somebody to answer is how are you claiming this is an immune system when the science has not produced the underlying framework for that? It can't be true. There's no framework in which it could be true.
Dude, because of blockchain.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I was talking to some people a few weeks ago, and we were talking about would you ever teach a course on cryptocurrency? And I said no, but I'll teach blockchain as part of cryptography. Like, okay, that's a valid topic because it's an interesting technology in and of itself.
You forgot to add in AI and machine learning.
Oh no, I didn't, man. I threw it out there.
Now, when all of a sudden starts talking about something, just to try to make it so they understand the absurdity. Like, oh man, I'm not really quite sure how we're going to fix this. I'm like, dude, it's simple. It's blockchain. Come on.
Yeah, blockchain is the equivalent of my 4-year-old's wall fairy dust. Like she has a little door we put on the wall. You got to sprinkle fairy dust on it at night, and you put a little letter in the mailbox. And in the morning, one of us has to sneak in there and put a letter in the door so that she got a letter overnight. That's what that is.
I mean, they don't quite understand that all blockchain really is it's a ledger. That's it.
Yeah.
But I just start every time people are like, I'm not sure how to solve this. Blockchain.
Yeah, just blockchain.
Yeah. Just search whatever you're thinking about and add blockchain to it. I guarantee there's some product out there that has said they solve it with blockchain.
And this is my suggestion to people. How you know people are completely full of shit is you'll never hear somebody say, "Oh, the solution is implementing blockchain." It's just blockchain.
Yeah.
Like it's so amorphous. It's so just floating around in the ether that just blockchain is the answer itself. There is no implementation. You just blockchain.
AI, machine learning. You see more machine learning, dude. That's it.
Yeah.
You don't understand. That's because you're just not on the level of machine learning.
That's right.
That's what it comes down to.
You're not down with the statistics.
Yeah. If you were, then you would understand blockchain.
Oh God.
It's I mean, those are what people, the marketing people out there, every product, all of a sudden, blockchain. And I'm like this is some new concept.
Right. Hashing.
Yeah.
We went out to dinner with Mrs. Pittman's brother lives in Raleigh. And so we went to their place and we went out to dinner with them last night. What the hell's up with my camera? There we go. And we're
watching.
Yeah. And so we're sitting there and we start talking about investments. And some of the people were like, "Oh, we've talked about like cryptocurrency." And I'm like, "No, I got a better word for you. Vanguard ETF. Like that's what you should look into. Don't worry about like Potcoin or Dogecoin, any of that. Go because we have the same bank, USAA, and you can get really nice Vanguard ETFs through that. Why don't you go look into that, bro?"
Yeah. Now, I mean, or the other way to think of it is how much money do you have to lose?
Yeah.
You might have better odds of taking that and going to Vegas and betting it on black. That's
right. Your odds are better, for sure. And in the meantime, you ain't jacking up the cost of my GPUs.
Yeah.
Dude, there was like the better part of a year you couldn't even get an NVIDIA card. They were gone. They didn't exist.
Because all the people out there mining Bitcoins.
PETA should go after them, not Steve Irwin.
Who?
Yeah. For the record, this is maybe controversial. I've never been a big fan of Steve Irwin. The crocodile hunter.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But, he's dead.
Yeah, I know, and I'm happy. That's really cruel. I'm not happy that he's dead. What I really didn't like was the popularity around going out and handling wild animals.
Were they really wild anymore because they were in a zoo? Because the last time he tried to handle a wild animal, he died.
Yeah, well, sometimes you mess with the bull, you get the horns, bro.
Oh, I know.
Or in this case, you mess with the stingray, you get the spike.
Yeah.
I'm not happy he's dead. I got to take that back a little bit, man. That was a little aggressive. You got me wound up with the immune system bullshit. That was a little over the top.
This is what happens when you launch an immune system. All of a sudden, you don't know what's going to get attacked.
It's a great metaphor, isn't it? It's a great metaphor. Like, man, I'm just not into like invading the wilderness just to go out and like pick up snakes and show them to people. Like, I'm not down with that. Like, let them be, man. Leave them alone.
I thought you were going to say you weren't a big fan of PETA.
Oh, I'm not. I mean, I like pita bread, but
pita butter.
Yeah, I like
peanuts
yeah.
are.
That's a good one. But PETA, the organization, no, not a big fan.
I am not either. It's just so funny. Like I remember years ago, this person that I was affiliated with for a little while. She worked for this environmental company, talking about how they were doing all this great stuff, and she was giving me a hard time because of my car. And so I'm like, well, who's the CEO of your organization? I'm like, this dude's a multi-millionaire, and he's driving a freaking Aston Martin.
Right.
Sure, that's not electric.
Yeah, it ain't exactly getting high MPG.
Yeah. I'm like, you're gonna me. The company you work for is literally the leader, so to speak, of the company. He's making millions. No one else is. And he's driving around in an Aston Martin. And you're talking about how my carbon footprint is out of whack because of my car. Well,
maybe if the Earth had a better immune system, it wouldn't be a problem. Maybe we should invent that.
They have, dude. It's called blockchain.
Well played. Oh God, man. So do you want to take the last couple minutes and talk about the UFC that apparently happened last night?
Sure. Who fought?
Couldn't tell you. No idea. I know
I mean,
Steven Struve, but I don't know who he fought. I guess that was the main event.
dude, that guy, that guy is so big. I mean, I'm shocked that he can like fucking function. Really, I mean, he's a good striker, but I mean, he's already had heart problems. You know,
Got his jaw split.
at what point do you just say enough's enough?
Yeah, man.
Well, retired. I mean, I'm glad, but I mean, it's interesting how many big people like that in terms of like over, 6'5", die young. I mean, it's not like their heart's any bigger, so to speak, in proportion, or the lungs or anything like that. I mean, it's only so far it can grow.
Yeah,
your body.
Well, and this is what interests me, like comparing to Brock Lesnar, because Steven Struve's taller than Brock Lesnar, right? But how are they even the same species, right? I mean, because Brock isn't that much shorter, but he's giant, right? And all of his systems, including his immune system, are engineered along with his size. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like his body can take the abuse of moving as fast as he does with the size that he is. Clearly, Steven Struve and people like that, what I would refer to as unathletic. And I'm sure you played a lot of sports, I know. You met people like this, that for as big or as small, as fast or tough as they should have been, like visually, they just were not athletic at all. They didn't know how to move. They didn't know how to use their body to accomplish certain physical goals. And that's that. And that's how Steven Struve has always been.
Yeah, I am though looking forward to the next UFC event
next weekend. Yeah. That's a pretty interesting card, man. John Jones is the headliner, and he's fighting a tough dude. And our friend
Gustafson.
No, man, now I can't think of the dude's name, but he's an up and comer that's really tough.
Okay,
really tough.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if Ben Askren is really as good as what he is, because he hasn't really fought anyone.
That's the fight I'm interested in, man. That's the fight I'm interested in. And that's not going to be an easy fight for either guy. Oh, here's the card. John Jones versus Anthony Smith. That's the guy's name. Our boy Tyron Woodley is fighting Kamaru Usman. That's a barn burner. And right out of the gate, this is
what Woodley's fighting?
Yes, actually he's fighting.
Well, there's still time for him to pull out.
Yeah, well, and man, Usman's no slouch. So that's an exciting fight potentially. And before that is Askren versus Robbie Lawler.
Card's pretty stacked.
Well, I mean, they could have put Askren in versus some can and let him just get warmed up, But they put him in against a killer.
No, because Dana White wants him to lose.
Yeah, yeah. Did you see that exchange where Dana White didn't follow him on Twitter?
Yeah. He still, I don't think he follows him still. He had him blocked at one point.
Yeah.
Because I can see Dana White. He's old with his friends, with his scotch and cigar. remember when I screwed over Askren?
Right?
Made him like a Bond villain.
This little monocle.
Yeah.
So, man, those three fights have the potential to be really good. There's a women's fight, but I don't know them, so I don't know how good that is, but it's on the main card. Cody Brandt's back fighting, I don't know who that is, Pedro Munoz. Jeremy Stevens is fighting. So Jeremy Stevens is the dude that Connor turned around to in that press conference and said, who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah. That's like the worst insult that you can give to someone.
Yeah. Dude, that was
like, I'll fight you. Like, who are you?
Yeah. Oh, that was a good one, man. That was a good one. So I
taught Connor well with the trash talking. He's getting better.
There you go, man.
My level yet, but
well, we all need mentorship, right?
Yeah. I just wish he would actually admit it. I mean, I give away my advice for free. It's all right.
Well, I was going to ask, did you get a lifetime
No.
supply of proper 12?
Yeah, all you have to do is give anybody one bottle, and it's a lifetime supply.
I haven't tried it yet. I haven't had a drink in a long time, man.
It's
Maybe one day.
I mean, it needs to be aged for a long time.
Well,
what I've got.
Maybe it'll be aged by the time I have another drink. I don't know.
No, because it doesn't age in the bottle. It's not wine. It's not conditioned like wine. It gets better over time.
Oh man,
it would not surprise me if they had this thing like in a steel still, not instead of keeping it in barrels.
Right.
It's just.
Well, the rumors still going around that Conor's going to fight Cowboy, and it could be April. What did I see the other day? Either this coming April, or June or July. I don't remember now. But Khabib ain't fighting until the fall.
Well, that's why they've got an interim fight going on.
And this is one of the fundamental problems I have, man. Is there? I think if I count, there's more interim belts than real belts.
Yeah, this is the thing I don't understand, right? Okay, so he's banned in Vegas, right? Mm-hmm. Other U.S. commissions may uphold it, but you know who doesn't uphold U.S. commissions? Other countries. I'd be like, okay, fine. Then I'm going to go fight in Brazil. Have Khabib fight in Brazil. You can fight next month. Do it.
Yeah. Or dude, fight in Russia.
They've done it before.
Yeah. I mean, the fight that was last night, I think, was in the Czech Republic.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my point is...
Prague. It was in Prague, yeah.
Yeah. So the UFC has an international reach, and it's something that they really set out as a mission years ago that they've actually been pretty successful with, getting into lots of different countries and building markets. Vegas ain't the only place to have fights. The U.S. isn't the only place to have fights.
No, that's why I'm like, all right, that's what the law. If I'm the UFC, I don't have more fights in Vegas. It's not like that's not where their money comes from anyway. The gate's not where they make their money. You could do this stuff anywhere. If the Nevada Athletic State Commission wants to continue acting the way that they do, you know what? Stop having cards there. Then those people don't have jobs.
Right. Well, I don't know why you would want to deal with the Vegas Commission at this point, to be honest with you. It's clearly so corrupt.
This is what I tell people, and all these people are like, oh, Walmart's evil, blah, 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 blah. Then stop buying products from them.
Yeah, right.
You can buy your Kellogg's, Frosted Flakes from anywhere. It doesn't have to be Walmart.
Right. Frosted Flakes. I'm not a cereal fan, man. I've never been a cereal fan.
Because you don't like milk.
I've never had a glass of milk in my life. Ever.
Yeah. I have. You're not missing anything.
No. I ain't raising cows here, bro. This ain't a cow farm.
I know. You're a chicken farmer. We've again, Nostradamus called this stuff years ago.
Man, I found out last night that now Mrs. Pittman doesn't want to do chickens.
Yet. She'll change her mind again. But
I don't know what happened, man. We were talking about it at dinner with some family, and it just came out like, oh yeah, I've decided not to do chickens. And I'm like, I guess I don't have to build this coop then.
It'll happen still in some way, shape, or form. But that's art. Like a lot of people, all these people are like, why would you listen to him? I'm not going to have chickens. And I'm like, I'm telling you, it'll be a chicken farmer. And then boom.
Dude, my veggies are growing though, man.
I bet.
I got some good science going on, testing different substrates, same environmental conditions, right? But different soils and stuff to see how it affects them, man. We built our above ground strawberry beds.
Awesome. All right. So Tuesday, 10 o'clock?
Tuesday, 10 o'clock. Me, you, and Captain AirPods.
Captain AirPods. I wonder if Ken 2.1 will be there or not.
Maybe, man.
You never know.
Maybe. See, if I were him, dude, I would totally buy like the cheapest knockoff piece of shit AirPods I could find on Alibaba, and I'd mail like a box of 100 to you. Because Because you know in that batch there's going to be one that shorts out and shocks you.
Probably. But because they're Apple products, I wouldn't be using them anyway.
Yeah, right.
The only Apple product I use is my Mac. That's it. And I don't even use that very much. If the Chromebooks get a little bit better, it doesn't have to be much. I mean, just the next generation of the operating system, I'm all in. The biggest thing that keeps me from there right now, to be honest, is the stylus with it. It's like, at least on the, so this is the Dell one, you can program, it's already built in, this little switch, click it, hold it in, and then it becomes the eraser. On the Surfaces, all you have to do is turn it around and it acts like an eraser. Only thing that's missing right now from that is, and I'd be able to use it a lot more, because if I'm going to take notes and all of a sudden I mess something up, I'm not about to go click 3 different things in order to erase stuff. That's just too much of a waste.
Yeah. Look, man, I think that's some area for huge innovation. I was trying to talk to, I don't know if you saw those tweets with Microsoft about OneNote. I'm digging OneNote for some things, but man, some of the menu decisions are really inefficient, and they really make it so like I don't want to use it. But when you add in touchscreen, you add in a stylus, there's an enormous amount of new human-computer interaction modalities you could come up with that really, it's not even like being efficient or productive. It's like way more intuitive to use.
Yep, you got it.
Cool.
True.
Well, there's 110. We'll do 111 on Tuesday.
All right. Awesome.
Have a good one, everybody.
Peace.
Safe travels, my friend. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye.
Talk to you later.
Bye.